He thought he may be on his way to his first Cup title last year, to dominating the regular season in NASCAR Sprint Cup.
Yeah, he's not even old enough to come out here and rent his own car. Here he is whipping these guys around this racetrack in whatever he gets in. We talk about Kyle Busch too, and he has really good crews in all of this, making this happen. I mean, the driver obviously has to get in and do a good job and do your part whenever you have cars that good, but he got some really, really good people. Jamie?
Well, DJ, you guys were talking about, he's fast on the racetrack, but he's also been great in the pits tonight. In 3 pit stops, he's been in the 13-second and 14-second mark. Why? You're looking at his picture on the right there. It's an all-star lineup. These are all guys from the Cup side. However, some of Denny Hamlin's guys, some of Kyle's guys, and of course some of Joey Logano's guys all getting together to pit this car tonight, and so far so good. Jason Ratcliffe told me this is the plan all season long, to keep these Cup guys here to bring home a championship.
It's very important not only for Joe Gibbs and Kyle Busch, but really, DJ, for Toyota to show up well. That's why it's very important for Ford and Dodge and General Motors to run well when they go to Detroit. But this is the headquarters, Torrance, California, for Toyota. TRD in Costa Mesa. It is a home game for them, and they want to protect the home turf.
Yeah, they really do. And the drivers were out here this week, had their big deal at TRD, and it is very important. We see 6th place here, changing hands. Joey Logano goes around David Rudeman, take that 6th spot away. So he's working out at best thing probably happened was seeing Brendan Gaughan up on the top side of that racetrack, and Joey's really making that work as he makes his charge back towards the front. But very important for everyone at Toyota. Dave, what's going on with David Rudeman?
DJ, he's actually been trying to take that 6th position from Joey Logano for about 10 laps here. Doesn't look like Joey wanted to give it up there, but Rudeman finally buying the 10 car. Now they've spent a couple of extra times on pit road. One, to put that hood pin back in on the left front of the car that you guys talked about earlier. They put a piece of tape on it to make sure it held, and they also, avoiding the 88 wreck, they came down to the grass and they had to repair just a little bit on the left front of that car. He's moved up steadily since the restart, picked up 4 spots, and they're about 7 laps shy on fuel at the end of this race.
Well, we are hearing the leader will be coming on pit road in about 9 laps, so we will take our last pit stop and head out for a commercial break and come back and catch final pit stops and the final laps here of the NASCAR Nationwide Series race presented by GoDaddy.com. Stay with us. And we invite you to join us next Saturday, 4 o'clock Eastern Time, ESPN2. We go to the show capital of the world, Las Vegas, Nevada, and what a great one we had there a year ago in front of a crowd of over 120,000 NASCAR Nationwide fans. Mark Martin on fresh tires in the final laps. A little nudge of the 60 car, Carl Edwards and Brad Keselowski. Martin took the win. 2 years ago, the final lap battle was Jeff Burton and Kyle Busch. Always fun to go to Las Vegas and watch the great NASCAR Nationwide Series action. Total domination for the day for Kyle Busch. Last year, he and his teammate Tony Stewart in the 2 nationwide races led 280 of 300 laps here in the 2 races. "15 cars on the lead lap. Michael Walter being shown as the final car on the lead lap.
There's a car running 12th. Last pitted on lap 100. That would make 50 laps that he could, if he could make that on fuel, he could make it all the way to the end, and he may be able to do that. Is that right, Vance?
Well, Chad Walter, the crew chief for Justin Allgaier, he is really sweating it as they're figuring out the fuel mileage. He told me about 10 laps ago they're a half a lap short. They came in and topped off on lap 100. Clearly their strategy, trying to conserve fuel. They tell him, Allgaier on the radio, save fuel at every opportunity. They believe they're going to make it to the end if they can just save a little bit more. And that's the only car I've come across along pit lane that believes they've got a shot at making it to the finish.
Well, Vince, that's the only car that pitted at lap 100 on the lead lap that can make it. The rest of the guys, last time they were on pit road was lap 92, so he has an 8-lap cushion. As you look at the fuel gauges right here, you see how Justin Allgaier, by our calculations, would have a little more fuel than the 2-liter.
Chad Walter, the guy he's talking about, has a mechanical engineering degree from Cornell. on the Ivy League.
He probably knows how to figure gas mileage then.
You think?
Oh, we got trouble here. This is going to change everything. This is great.
Against all of that.
That's Greg Biffle up against the wall, bringing out caution now for the fourth time tonight.
He's had some hard contact with the wall with the left side.
There's Jack Roush. Sure he's disappointed with that.
We can see what happened again to the 16 car.
Looks like it just turned around on Greg there, getting in the corner. Actually, in the middle of the corner.
You know, we showed you earlier that happened in practice yesterday for him, coming out of turn 2, that the car got loose. He was trying to run that high line, and
it's like he's trying to get the car going, but he can't seem to get it started here. Taking his gloves off.
Yeah, he was running in 7th position on the lead lap, and now he'll need some help from the record to come pick up that car. And that means that all these guys will be able to make their final stop under the caution.
Everybody's going to get tires now.
Only shot now, and Carl Edwards has that #1 pit stall down there. If he can get a good pit stop right here and maybe beat Kyle Busch off pit road, that's one thing that can change the complexion of this finish.
Yeah, then we'd have a pass for the lead today, something we hadn't had probably. But, yeah, that would make it a little more exciting. You know, Kevin Harvick's worked his way back up into the 4th spot. He seems to have a really good race car, but he's had some troubles on pit road, too, losing a couple of, or 3 spots every time that he's gone in.
The last stop, remember, Carl almost beat the 18 out of the pits. It was really very, very close.
And he's a lot closer. He's right on the bumper of this 18 car coming in, so this is going to be his shot to try to beat this car off pit road.
Free pass went to the 1 car, Mike Bliss. He was the first car lap down. He will be able to get back on the lead lap.
He worked a long time to get by Michael Annette to get that spot. He paid off for him right here.
Yeah, he had that flat tire earlier in the night whenever he cut down that left rear when they just changed 2 right side tires. Then he cut down the left rear, so good break for Mike Bliss and his team.
We just joined our coverage. We've had 3 leaders, 4 lead changes. It's been a Kyle Busch night. He's led 126 of 129 laps thus far. He started on the outside of row 1 after dominating the truck race earlier in the day, leading 95 of 100 laps. So it's been a day that most drivers would dream about. You bring 2 different kinds of race cars to the racetrack and dominate in both.
He's dominated, but he's still got a little bit of work to do here.
Yeah, I didn't see all of the Cup practice, but so far nobody's passed him on the racetrack today.
All right, let's see what's going to happen here on the final pit stop, the money stop. Dave.
David Rudiman gives up 6th position. In addition to the Sunoco fuel they're going to put in his car, on the top of your screen, they're going to change 4 tires, take the air pressure down to the left sides to help the car turn. Vince.
Jeff Burton in the car 29, still 2 free. 4 tires, some splash of Sunoco fuel. They're going to go up a pound on the right side air and a right side track bar adjustment for this final stretch run. Jamie?
Watch this all-star crew go to work on Kyle Busch's car. 2/10 of an air pressure adjustment in the right front, 4 tires and fuel. Shannon?
Jamie, it's just going to be 1 can of Sunoco for Carl Edwards in the 60 car. He still needs to be a little bit freer. They're going to go 1 round down on the right rear wedge and 4 tires for the 60.
Let's see what's going to happen. Is the 60 going to get it done? Here he comes. There comes Kyle Busch.
Well, it was close.
That's close.
It was close. I heard numbers say that Carl Edwards got it off pit road.
He was spinning those tires. He might have burned those tires up getting off the pit road, but he got there.
He's only got 20 laps to go here, so he can use a little bit.
On that. We need a reading on that. Get that official.
Yeah, this is him to know who beat who to the line. And right here you see it's definitely Carl Edwards.
Yep, 60 car.
Great job, guys.
Nice stop by those guys.
They got Dan Stillman and the boys getting them fired up down there.
Hey, they're saying we've done all we can do. That's here right. Now. It's up to you, Carl.
We put you out there now.
That's
you got to
right.
stay there.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be that easy.
Get 5 points here.
That's Dan Stillman sitting right there beside Jack Roush, crew chief.
We're going to be talking a lot about this battle throughout the year. These 2 guys are the 2 Cup guys that are running the full schedule in the Nationwide Series. So we fully expect them to be the guys battling for the championship.
It should be fun getting all the way to Homestead and watch it. Not only these guys, we should have some other cars involved. Some other guys running full time in the series, so it should be fun to watch. 99 car, by the way, we're told will start at the tail end of the longest line. Michael Waltrip had some equipment taken out of the pit box. Kevin Harvick coming off pit road in 3rd position, so a pretty good stop for his bunch. Let's talk to him.
Kevin, Dale Jarrett, the ESPN. You have him?
Forward, Dale.
Well, looks like we had a good pit stop that time. Got you in a position here. Have you got anything for those 2 guys in front of you?
I hope so. We've left the gas out of the thing this time. We've been really loose at the beginning of the run, so hopefully we can get going here. If we can get going halfway through the run, we're fine. So we'll see what happens here. The guys rebounded, had a good pit stop, and Ream Chevrolet's been good all night.
So you're fighting loose mostly. Does that make you have to move around on the racetrack any, Kevin, or have you pretty much been able to run the car still where you want to?
Well, it kind of takes away the option to move around just because it's so free. You know, it's so line sensitive, hitting the bottom. I can't really go into the middle because anytime I touch those seams, I get loose. So I just kind of stuck on the bottom here.
All right, Kevin, thanks for talking with us. Good luck.
And explain what he's talking about, leaving the gas out.
Well, they only have 20 laps to go when he made that pit stop, and so the thing to do is only put 20 laps of fuel in there. You don't want to put any more than you need because that's just more weight swinging around the back end of the car, making it loose. And this is a great move, and a lot of guys now, I mean, you got to calculate that stuff right down to the wire, and as long as he's got enough to make it to the end, he'll be fine.
And remember, he is from Bakersfield and has never won at his home racetrack. Let's check in the Kyle Busch pits. Jamie.
Well, Kyle Busch's crew came over the radio and apologized for losing him a spot, and this is Kyle's reaction.
Sorry about that, man.
They have lost one of the battles, but we ain't lost the war yet.
No, I know that. I know that.
They're keeping their heads in the game, Doc, and we may have a battle on our hands here in the closing laps.
Should be interesting to see what's going to happen. And, folks, the rule this year is a single file restart in the final 20 laps. It used to be in the final 10 laps, but now they'll line up single file, which means that car will have a lot of open racetrack there and no lap cars on the inside to be able to help hold that 18 off.
You know, generally the double file doesn't bother the leader as much as it does those guys in 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. So that's going to give Kevin Harvick and Jeff Burton, Joey Logano, those guys, they don't have to deal with those lap cars as they get down in, so they can run where they want to. So this could get pretty interesting, especially if Kyle Busch and Carl Edwards can get side by side. Then that brings a lot of other guys into the mix. So this is going to be fun.
Yeah, Carl's going to need to make the back of his car real wide right here because that 18 car has been very strong on these early laps.
He's going to be getting down into turn 1. That's where Kyle's been so good when he's been out front, is able to really go through the middle of turn 1 and carry a lot of speed off of turn 2 and down that backstretch, and he gets himself a gap right from the very beginning. So let's see if Carl can hold him off.
Now, the other thing is, I'm not sure Kyle Busch has shown us everything he's got. He's had this thing well in hand all day.
Gosh.
I'll guarantee you we're going to see what he's got now.
He's got more left.
Yeah. They've called off the restart here because there was some debris on the racetrack they got to pick up. Let's check in on the Carl Edwards situation. Shannon.
Well, I got to ask Dale, do you believe in good luck charms?
Oh, if it's going to benefit me, yeah.
Well, earlier in the race, a little good luck charm for the 60. Drew Blickensterfer, of course, Carl Edwards' old crew chief here on the nationwide side. And, oh, yeah, the guy who led Matt Kenseth to win the Daytona 500 last week. He was down here in the pit box. I got Jason. All the guys in the Roush Fenway camp are definitely looking to Drew for a little bit of luck here today.
Yeah, use whatever you got, anything you can bring up, whether it's luck, smart guys, bring them all in there, whatever they can do.
Everything Drew touches, I'm going to take him to Vegas next week.
Hey, man, that guy's on top of the world right now. He's really doing a great job, and that was a great win for he and Matt Kenseth last week. Really happy for Matt.
And for Jack Roush, first ever win in the Daytona 500. 17 laps to go, folks. It's been Kyle Busch's night. There's Jack Roush. His car has dominated the Stater Brothers 300.
It looks like he's still beaming from the Daytona 500 victory.